Are we ready, Jay?
Yeah, it's good.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, on behalf of Iskcon Calgary, we'd like to welcome you to our third part of the seminar. And also for our viewers, we're going to have one more part that will be next Saturday. So, please tune in. So, we welcome Satchitananda Prabhu Das from Iskcon Niagara. This Prabhu has been giving a very nice class for last two sessions, and this will be the third session, and then one more coming up next weekend. So Prabhuji is a very senior disciple of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. It's very nice, a very lively class. We like to welcome Prabhuji, and Prabhuji will start from by giving a small kirtan. So Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you can go ahead now.
So today's kirtan is dedicated to Shameshwari Devi Dasi Mataji, a wonderful devotee at Iskcon Calgary. We pray for her health and her speedy recovery. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Darine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana, Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha, Shri Rup Shri Sanatana Bhatta Raghunatha, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna, Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namah. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. 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 आराध्य भगवान तनयस् तद्धाम वृंदावनम रम्या काचिरुपासना व्रजवधूवर्गेण तया कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवत पुराणयमलम् प्रेम पुमार्थो महान् श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतैदं नायत्रयाग्र परः वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलम् श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोदाभियुल्लुखलद्धवमानं परमष्टमत्यन्तो ततो धृत्यगोप्या रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रं मुहुसाशकम्पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ स्थितग्रैव दामोदर भक्तिबद्धं विदृक्षलीलाभिः आनन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमञ्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीशु तद्मेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षमवधिं वा न चान्ये वृणेऽहं वर्षादयपिहा इदं ते वपुर्नाथं गोपालबालं सदा मे मनसि अविराष्टं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्भोजमत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुण्ठलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनसि अविराष्टम् अलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसिद्ध प्रभो दुःख जालब्धिमग्नं कृपा दृष्टि वृष्यति दीनं बतानो गृहणेश मामज्ञान तेदि अक्षिदृश्यः कुबेरात्मजाौ बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वत् तया मोचितौ भक्तिर्भाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम में प्रयच्छा ना मोक्षे गृहमस्ति दामोदरेहा नमस्ते तु दाम्ने स्फुरद्दीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीय उदरायाथ विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो अनंत लीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो अनंत लीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं दामोदराष्टकं नाम स्तोत्रम दामोदर अर्चनम नित्यं दामोदर आकर्षी पथेत सत्यव्रतोदितम। श्री श्री दामोदर अष्टकम की जय। कार्तिक दामोदर मास की जय। उर्जेश्वरी श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय। ऊर्जा मास दामोदर मास की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So, welcome all again to the Damodar Lila Katha part 3 that is hosted by Iskcon Calgary and the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad group. My humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas. May whatever emanate from my mouth be pleasing to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, to all the Gaudiya Acharyas, and to the wonderful, sincere Vaishnavas who have assembled here. So there's so much to the nectar that has been given by our acharyas. It's a challenge for me to kind of compress it within like 3 sessions or even 4 sessions, but I will try my best. Perhaps it is my weakness that I'm not able to run an express class, but I will try my best to finish whatever I can today, and then we will wrap it up in the 4th session. And especially our prayers for the quick recovery and well-being of Shameshwari Dasi Mataji, a wonderful devotee at Iskcon Calgary. Right after this class, there will be a special kirtan that the devotees will be conducting for her quick recovery. So, coming back to we finished the first 2 verses, and of course, prior to that, we set the stage for the Damodar Ashtakam. And we are at this point where Krishna is finally tied to the upturned grinding motor by Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda now goes back to the kitchen along with the other gopis who have assembled in the morning to finish up the chores, especially for this special occasion of Diwali, and including the Maha cleanup that is necessary after what Krishna did to her kitchen and to the storeroom. The coward boys also assemble every morning because they just cannot live without Krishna. Every morning they gather, and this morning the little coward boys, who are approximately the same age as Sri Krishna, about 2.5 to 3 years old, they are assembled, and after hearing the crying of Krishna, they generally assemble in the Nanda Angan, in the main courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. But today they heard some crying coming from the storeroom, and they all immediately rush to that storeroom, and they see Krishna crying and tied to the upturned ukkal, or the grinding motor. And Krishna appeals to his friends, please untie me. And all the friends, one after another, they tried, but they were unsuccessful. In a few minutes, while they were attempting to untie Sri Krishna, Mother Rohini returns from the elder brother of Nanda Maharaj, Sri Upananda's house, after helping out for the Diwali festival, along with the little Balram. Mother Rohini proceeds directly to the kitchen, whereas Lord Balram, the little Balram, Dau, goes to the same storeroom where all the noises and the crying and the chaos is. And when he goes there, he sees that Krishna is tied to the upturned motor. He's crying, and he becomes extremely upset. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balram, Yogamaya, I take that back. Yogamaya takes away her avaran, or the influence, for a second or two, and Lord Balram, the most powerful in this creation, who has got bala, strength, his eyes are bloodshot, and he looks at all the coward boys. What kind of a game this is? How dare you tie my younger brother like this? He is crying, can't you see? And he was so upset, as if he was going to burn the entire universes. Who tied my brother? Eventually, he learns from Madhumangal that it is Mother Yashoda who tied Balram to the upturned grinding mortar. And immediately, Yogamaya takes the best of her beautiful transcendental illusion, makes him forget that he is the Supreme Lord himself, and becomes like an ordinary brother, an ordinary friend, an ordinary child, Lord Balram. He takes a step back, as if he is also scared, hearing the fact that Mother Yashoda has tied Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna tells thou, Balram, hey Ram, help me, Ram, please untie me. All these coward boys, they are useless, they're not able to do so. And Ram, as he is addressed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Balaram, he tries, but he cannot undo that knot. And last time we explained, our Rasik Acharyas explained that, why is that so? The one who has the unlimited strength, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balram himself, the first simultaneous expansion in Golok Vrindavan, on the right of Sri Krishna, Nanda Nandan, Yashoda Nandan is Balram, Rohini Nandan, and the left is Haladini Shakti Sri Radha. So powerful, but yet helpless. And if you all can recollect, the reason is because in the different relationships that one can have, or the mellows or the rasas have some specialty and some gradation. Better than Shantaras or the neutrality is Dasyaras. Better than Dasyaras is Sakyaras, the friendship. Better than friendship is Vatsalyaras, more stronger. Just like milk is like Krishna Prem, pure milk. But as somebody who lovingly cooks the milk on the stove, slowly on a slow flame, then that milk becomes thicker. And that it's like that Krishna Prem becomes thicker. Krishna Prem becomes thicker in Sakyaras, and even more thicker in Vatsalyaras, and even more thicker in the Madhurya Rasa. So, because that knot was tied in Vatsalya Rasa, which is perhaps a notch or two special in terms of Sakya Rasa, Lord Balram, as the brother, as a friend of Krishna, was unable to tie him. Because this knot was tied by a superior relationship, or a rasa, or a mellow, and therefore he was unable to. And had Lord Balram executed this particular untying Leela or pastime, if he, in the form of Radharani's younger sister Ananga Manjari, had executed that immediately, that knot would have been untied in an instant, because the Madhurya Rasa is considered more deeper and more special than the Vatsalya or the parental love. So in this way, the third verse, Idriksa Leela Bhir Ananda Kunde Swaghosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam Tadi Eshit Agneshur Bhaktair Jitatvam Puna Prema Shat Avrutti Vande. What a beautiful verse this is. Every word is amazing. All we need to do is drink this nectar this nectar that has been presented by Satyavrat Muni, presented by Shaunak Rishi and Naradji in the Padma Puran, in some Satya Yuga, presented further with more and more sweetness by our Gaudiya Acharyas like Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Rup Goswami, and the Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad purports of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada in the 10th canto, chapters 9 and 10, depicting this wonderful Damodar Lila, the tying of Sri Krishna. Idrikso Lila, in this fashion, in this way, by performing such personal, sweet pastimes, Nanda Nandan in Golok Vrindavan or in Bhaumya Vrindavan, Yashoda Nandan, Radhika Raman, Radha Ras Bihari, Sri Krishna, Radha Gopinath, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Gokula Ananda, Radha Damodar, Radha Shyam Sundar. That personality, the Supreme Lord, who resides splendorously in Gokul, performed those personal, most intimate pastimes. Idrik Swa Leela. Swa means his personal, his most. Swa Leela bhir Ananda Kunde Swa Gosham Nimanjantam. And he drowned all the residents of Gokul in a lake, kunda of transcendental bliss, which is unparalleled, never to be found anywhere else in any other quarters of the creation, including the Vaikuntha Lokas. Idrik Salila Vir Ananda Kunde Swakoshan Nimanjantam. Nimanjantam means to immerse, to drown. And that is the most important eventual goal or prayojan for all Vaishnavas, especially those in the Gaudiya Vaishnava line. Yes, it's good to read the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, that gives us an introduction of the opulence of Sri Krishna in Dwarka, as Dwarka is Sri Krishna who spoke the Bhagavad Gita. It is not Nanda Nandan Krishna who spoke the Bhagavad Gita, not the son of Yashoda Nandan, not Yashoda Nandan who spoke Bhagavad Gita, not the lover of Sri Radha and the lover of the gopis in Vrindavan. He never spoke the Bhagavad Gita. The scriptures say, Rup Goswami says, Ekam padam na gachanti Vrindavanam. The Supreme Personality of God is Sri Krishna in Golok Vrindavan that Lord Brahma speaks in the Brahma Samhita. He does not even take a step outside of Vrindavan. So the one who spoke the Bhagavad Gita is Vasudev Krishna in Kurukshetra. Nanda Nandan never went to Kurukshetra. Nanda Nandan Krishna never went to Mathura. That's a different and a very more detailed conversation for another time to explain those nuances that have been explained by Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravartipad, our Rasik Acharyas in the Gaudiya line. And even by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, who mentions, I remember about 25 years ago listening to the purport of Srila Prabhupada in the bhajan, famous bhajan that most devotees are familiar with, Bhajahu Re Mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhay Charana Ravindare. Srila Prabhupada says there are many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. We means we Gaudiya Vaishnavas. That is a very perfect hint. We read Srila Prabhupada's books, but there are so many beautiful nuances and details on the Gaudiya Ras and the line of Mahaprabhu in Srila Prabhupada's purports. And the more mature and the more nicely we practice our sadhana, the chanting good rounds, then so many wonderful nuances are revealed to us in the same purport that we may have read a few months ago or a few years ago or a few decades ago. There is a Navarasa, a newer and newer freshness with newer and newer deeper meanings, with finer and finer details that take us from opulence to sweetness. Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful. It's the inner beauty that Satyavrut Muni is hankering for, as we will find in these verses. And that's what our Gaudiya Acharyas are all about. It's the beauty of Sri Krishna, not the opulence. And that's what we need to cultivate by hearing about such esoteric subject matters, especially on special occasions, like this whole month of Damodar, in the month of Kartik. Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde. As soon as Krishna started walking along with his other cowherd boys, he went to different homes of the gopis in Vrindavan, in Gokul. And they made plans. The little boys. Can you imagine the little boys? How clever, and the leader being Krishna? Tells Subal, today we are going to ransack your mother's kitchen. And Subal says, how can we do that? It's not possible. She's in the kitchen all day long. Well, here's the idea. He tells Subal, we will all assemble outside by the Goshala in your house. And then you go inside and tell your mother, one of us will untie the cows and the calves, and tell your mother that there is a runaway cow and there is a runaway calf from our Goshala. Maya, Maya, look. Subal is a part of this plan. He tells his mother, Maya, our cows are loose, our calves are loose. Look. And immediately Subal's mother runs out. Oh, how did that happen? And she starts to chase those cows and calves and trying to bring them back to the Goshala. And in the meantime, the entire group of the Balasakhas, along with the king of the Balasakhas, the chief, they go into Subal's mother's kitchen and they ransack it. They eat all the butter, they break the pots, the yogurt pots, the butter pots, etc. Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde. When Subal's mother comes back, she sees all this and she's upset, but at the same time, she's just amused. That is the way the Brajvasis are. Internally, they're so happy. Oh, Krishna came to my house today. I've been waiting for him to come. One time, Krishna went to one gopi's house, and this gopi was determined to catch him. So she hides behind the door, and all his coward friends, they go inside, and they're about to enter into the inner part of the kitchen where all the pots are stacked. And as soon as Krishna puts his hand in the pot, this mother comes out and takes his hand and stops him and says, aha, I caught you. Your mother doesn't believe that you are stealing butter from my house. All the other coward boys ran away and he was caught in the act. So she says, Lala, as I mentioned before, in Vraj, the boys are little boys, or a son is known as Lala, and a daughter or a little girl is known as Lali. That's how they address them. Say, hey, Lala, tell me what you're doing in my kitchen. So, oh, nothing. Maya, oh, mother. Krishna addressed all the gopis who are elderly as mother. The moment he uttered the word Maya, this particular gopi was mesmerized, just wanting to hear the word mother from Krishna's lotus lips. Tears rolled out of her eyes, out of Vatsalya Rasa. And Krishna, in his very infant kind of, not infant, but the Pauganda, the little 2.5-year-old kind of little boy, he says, Maya, my little calf entered your pot. Oh, really? And then Krishna says, you called me Lala, didn't you? And she was immediately so much fully overjoyed. Yes, yes, you are my Lala. That if you are my Lala, if I'm your Lala, I'm your son, then is this your house? The gopi said, yes. So if I'm your son, is this my house? And the gopi said, of course, yes, it is your house. And if this is my house, then this kitchen, is this my kitchen? Oh yeah, Lala, it is your kitchen. Then all these pots, all these butter, this yogurt, is this mine? Yes, it is yours, my dear boy, my dear Lala. Then Krishna says, then how can you say I'm stealing in my own house? And the gopi was mesmerized. And out when Krishna slips out of her hand and she says, show me your calf. And Krishna pulls out a little toy calf from that little pot of half churned yogurt. Idriksa Leela Bhir Ananda Kude. Like this, he immersed Gokul into so much joy, so much bliss. One time, another gopi was so determined because every day these gopis used to go somehow to Mother Yashoda and complain. Yashoda, Yashoda, look what your son did today. Again, he's been caught stealing this. Then Mother Yashoda would say, Are Baba, why are you getting on my son's case? Nanda Baba donated 900,000 cows at his birth. We are Vaishyas, cow protectors. We've got thousands and thousands of cows. Our business is related to all milk products. We even send it to Mathura. We have so much plenty. Why would he come to your house and steal? So this time one gopi was determined. Determination is something that all devotees must have. It's an example of tattva, of philosophy. Just like how Mother Yashoda was determined to punish Krishna. How Mother Yashoda was determined to catch Krishna. How the Mother Yashoda was determined to tie Sri Krishna. This gopi was determined to catch Krishna. She hid again in the dark behind one of the doors. And when she saw Krishna coming into a kitchen, she let her play around with all the pots and started eating. And then immediately from nowhere, she jumped on him and says, aha, you are caught in the act, O thief. Your mother does not believe in this. Come on now. I'm going to march you right now to Nanda Bhavan, to Yashoda Rani. She takes hold of Krishna's hand and puts little Krishna under her veil. Because, again, when she has to leave her home, then she has to have that Vedic maryada or that respect. In the Vedic culture, women generally have a veil when they go out in public. So now she has Krishna, little baby Krishna, carried, around her hips, and she has him under her veil. Marches him, and all along the way to Nanda Bhavan, she is telling everyone, I caught the thief, and everybody's wondering, what thief? Everybody gathered around, and in a procession, they followed this gopi to Nanda Bhavan. Yashoda, Yashoda, I have caught the thief today. No excuses. And Mother Yashoda comes out. Ari Gopi, what happened again? You are here today complaining. And as Mother Yashoda is coming out of the palace, she sees Krishna blissfully sleeping on a bedstead in one of the bedrooms. And she says, Yashoda, I have your son now. I caught him in the act. And Mother Yashoda says, what are you talking? She is sleeping. Shh. Quiet down a little bit. Oh no, not today. I caught him. He's got yogurt, butter all over his mouth, all over the beautiful silken clothes that you dress him every day. He's caught in the act. And she immediately opens the veil, and there we find, lo and behold, it was her own son. Krishna, he walks to the main door, rubbing his eyes. as if he has woken from a deep slumber, from a deep sleep, and says, Maiya, who's making all this now? Mother, what is all this commotion? What is all this noise about? Can't a person get some rest or sleep? And Mother Yashoda says, no, my dear Lala, of course you can go to sleep. This gopi has lost it. She brought her own son, and he's got all the butter and the yogurt all smeared all over his body, and says, it is you. I really don't know. I have so much work to do. I'm going back inside. And Mother Yashoda simply leaves the scene. Everybody else is laughing at the gopi with her son, and everybody else leaves, and Krishna is standing right there looking at that gopi, putting his hands on his waist and saying, Ari Gopi, Kyuri, what's up? Remember, next time you try to play this one on me, it will be your father-in-law that you will be pulling off when you unveil. And she was so embarrassed. She went back home never to look behind, and Krishna laughed. Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam. Like this, Krishna and Balram, little boys, the gopis, they loved them so much. It is not that Krishna wants to steal butter for his own sense gratification. There is a wonderful philosophy and a real reason behind that. Because Krishna in Gokul or in Vrindavan or in Golok is Purna Purushottam, that supreme personality who can fulfill everybody's desires. When the gopis see Mother Yashoda feed little baby Krishna, or dress him up, or bathe him, or so many things, sit him to lunch or dinner, the gopis had this internal desire, when can we do this? When can we do this? When will this sweet, beautiful boy come to our house? When will he call us mother? When will he come? The day many gopis would just sit outside on the threshold looking, when will he come to steal in my house? And Krishna fulfills that desire because Krishna loves his devotees, and especially those of the highest caliber of prema. How can he not fulfill that desire? And Mother Yashoda, why were they complaining to Mother Yashoda every day? So that also, there is a wonderful tattva or philosophy behind it. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Tushyanti ramante cha, my devotees, they delight when they talk about me, when they want to hear about me, when they hear about my pastimes, discussions about me. Whatever Mother Yashoda missed out while she is in the palace, all that naughtiness and all the sweet pastimes that happened in the different houses of the gopis, they wanted to narrate it to Yashoda so that she would not miss out. That is the reason, on the excuse of complaining, they used to go and narrate each and every detail to Yashodama. Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde Swagosha. Like this, Swaghosh means his own home. Ghosh has many meanings. One of the meanings is one's own home or one's own congregation or conglomeration. That is known as Ghosh. So that is known as Gokul or Golok Vrindavan or Vrindavan, and the parts of Rajmandal are Krishna's Swaghosh, his own home. Krishna Balram, sometimes the gopis would say, I'm going to give you laddus, wrestle, and whoever wins, I will give laddus. And Krishna and Balram, little Krishna Balram would start almost stark naked, just with the jewelry on their bodies. They look so sweet and like little wrestlers, chubby, both these boys, stroking their thighs, stroking their chest, stroking their arms, their side arms. They would go into a wrestling match. Sometimes Balram would win, sometimes Krishna would win, and then the gopis would give laddus to both of them, and both would be very pleased. And that way, in the excuse of giving more laddus, they would make them sit there in their laps and caress them on their forehead, kiss them many a time. And Krishna would say, Maiya, can I have one more laddu? Davu would say, Maiya, ek aur laddu, give me one more. Like that. Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde. This happened all in the Vatsalya Rasa, and it is just not in the Vatsalya Rasa, just not in the rasa of the parental love, but Krishna's wonderful pastimes that continuously happen in Vrindavan, in Gokul, and all those parts of Raj Mandal, in Sakhya Ras, in the friendship, and in the Madhurya Rasa. Two particular songs that come to my mind that have been written by an amazing personality whose residence is at Surbhi Kunja. Surbhi Kunja is that place in Govardhan when we do parikrama. It is a must place to bow down and receive some mercy, because that's where, after the Govardhan Lila, and due to the mistake that Indra had done, he could not face Krishna. He went along with Surbhi cow at that place to pacify Krishna, as if Surbhi cow was his attorney, his lawyer, so that Krishna would forgive Indra. Very beautiful place. Even today, if you go there, it's unspoilt. And it's just amazing. You sit and chant at Surbhi Kunj for maybe half an hour, 1 hour, you can get lost. And Paramanand Das, who resides at Surbhi Kunj, who is also known as Toka Sakha, and also known as Chandrabhaga Sakhi, he is in both the rasas, in the Sakhya Rasa as well as the Madhurya Rasa. As a Sakhi, he has composed a couple wonderful songs that depict Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam, completely immersing the residents of Vraj, Gokul, his own home, into Anand, bliss. I present these songs to you, that way we can relish, especially right now, one song that is in the Sakhya Rasa, the friends of Krishna, how Krishna immersed them in joy. And one song is a song amongst the thousands I say. One song in Madhurya Rasa, how Krishna eternally in his own home, Vraj Mandal, drowns the residents of Vraj or Gokul. Idriksa Lila bhir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam. In this way, he drowned the residents of Gokul, of Rajmandal. आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, भावत मोहि तिहारो झूठो चंचल नयन विशाल, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, जिन नाने पात बनाए दोना, दीजे सबन को पान, जिन नहीं पायो सुनो रे भैया, मेरी हथेली चाट, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, बहुत दिन हम बसे को मुद वन, कृष्ण तिहारे साथ, ऐसो स्वादम कभू न चाख्यो, सुन गोकुल के नाथ, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, आपन हसत हसावत ग्वालन, मानस लीला रूप, परमानंद प्रभु हम सब जानत, तुम त्रिभुवन के भूत, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल, आज दधि मीठो मदन गोपाल. Now I will go into the meanings, but also the Madhurya Ras. We just had Deepavali. So this is one wonderful pastime of our Krishna at the time of Deepavali day. हठरी भली बनाई। गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। गिरिधर भली हठरी बनाई। दीपावली हीरा मणि राजत देखे हरक होत अति भाई। गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। अनेक भात पकवान बनाए। अनेक भात पकवान बनाए। अति नौतन व्यंजन सुख दाई। सुंदर भूषण पहरे सुंदरी। मोदन करत लाल सोआई। सावधान में सोदा की जो दीजे तो कोल पुराई। गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। राखो चित्त चंचल नाही कीजे। ग्वालिन हास मुस्कुराई। गिरिधर भली हठरी बनाई। कैसो बोली बोलती ग्वालन कहता यशोदा यशोदा माई। गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। परमानंद हसी नंद धरनी। सबे बात में पाई। गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। ओ गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। ओ गिरिधर हठरी भली बनाई। So, in this particular two songs that I mentioned, the reason why I do this is because there are different rasas that are there in Krishna's Leela, including especially in Gokul or in Rajbham, the sweeter and the sweeter, that Mahaprabhu really relished in a conversation between Rai Ramanan and himself on the banks of the Godavari, where he really, Mahaprabhu, most of the other information and the quotes that Rai Ramanan quotes from the Bhagavad Gita and certain slokas from the Shastras, where Mahaprabhu says, Iho Bahyo, this is external, tell me more, tell me more. So like this, when he finally, Rai Ramanan starts describing his own residence in Gokul or in Rajmandal, about the relationship between the friends of Krishna, the Sakyaras, Mahaprabhu smiles, and his smiles widens as he speaks about the relationship that Krishna has with the gopis who are in the parental love or the Vatsalya Ras. And Mahaprabhu is in bliss when Rai Ramanan speaks about the Madhurya Rasa, or those young gopis of Vrindavan that are the conjugal lovers of Sri Krishna. So since we already described some of the wonderful pastimes in the Damodar Ashtakam itself, in about the Bal Leela, then here we have something that I would like to present, which I just sang in a wonderful song, that Idriksa Leela Vir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam. So Paramananda says that Aj Dadi Mito Madana Gopal. Today the yogurt is very, very sweet, O Krishna. Madana Gopal. Madan means Cupid, the one who enchants Cupid. And Gopal, of course, everybody knows what Gopal is. The one who actually sustains the lives of the gopis, the gopas and Gokul. That is Gopal. Not the sustenance in the terms of providing, just like, most of the people in this world pray to God because He is our Father who gives us our daily bread. Srila Prabhupada would quote the Christians and say, and most of the people today, they go to the temples and mosques and the synagogues, etc., because we have some need that Krishna is our order supplier. But in Golok and in Gokul, it's not like that. The word Gopal has a different, he's not only the tender giving protection to the cows, but there's also a deeper meaning to the word Gopal. Anyways, so they are on a picnic and they are in Kamyavan. There are different forests in Vrindavan. And in Kamyavan, Krishna has gone on a picnic with his coward friends. And in the middle of the day, they all have their lunches that have been brought by each one of them, packed by their mothers. And Krishna has got a nice sweet pot of yogurt from Mother Yashoda that she has packed for him. But Krishna loves his sakhas, and they all share with each other their lunches. So all the Krishna and Balram are sitting in the center, and all around them in the picnic are surrounded by the coward friends, the boys. Idriksa Leela Vir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam. And they're all in bliss. And the boys are saying today, the coward boys, Aj Dadi Mito Madana Gopal. Today the yogurt is especially very sweet. O Krishna, Bhavat Mohi Tiharo Jhutho. Bhavat Mohi Tiharo Jhutho Chanchala Nayana Vishal. Oh, your eyes that are very, very chanchal. Chanchal means they're always moving here and there. Very restless eyes. Krishna's eyes and Radharani's eyes are very restless. Like a partridge bird, especially because they're all like a dove, always looking, giving sidelong glances. Kada karishyasi hamam kripa kataksha bhajamam. Radharani, Lord Shiva prays that, oh, when will she look at me and bestow her mercy with her sidelong glances? So similarly, Krishna also has many, many sidelong glances that he glances on the residents of Braj, on his Swagosh. And the Gwalbals, or the friends of Krishna, say, Bhavat Mohi Tiharo Chuto. Today, we really loved your remnants, O Krishna. We really loved it. Why? Because Krishna, what he did is, Ane Pata Banaye Dona. He actually, with the leaves that were sitting under that tree, he started making little leaf cups. That's known as dona. When we go to Vrindavan or some places in the village atmosphere, there the plate where we take prasadam is made of leaves, and also the bowl where we take sabji and dal is also made of leaves. That's called dona. So Anepat, Krishna himself makes those leaf cups, and he's putting yogurt in each one of them and distributing it to all his friends that are surrounded him. And then the yogurt is finished. There's no more yogurt left in the pot. So what does Krishna say? Jin nahi payo sunore bhaiya, meri hateli chaat. Aaj dadi meetho madana gopal. Those who did not get those cups, I'm so sorry, it's finished. But I have some remnants on my palm. Please come and lick my palm. And those who licked his palm, they were in bliss, and they said, Aaj dadi meetho madana gopal. Especially today, many times we have had this yogurt, but today's yogurt has been especially so sweet. Bahut din hum base kumudavan. Many times we have come to this forest of lotus flowers. Kumudavan. Bahut din base hum kumudavan. Krishna tihare saath. With you, we have picnicked here, picnicked in this spot many times. Aso swad hum kabhu na chakyo. Suna Gokul ke nath. Oh, controller of Gokul. We have never ever tasted such sweetness in this yogurt. Never ever. Aaj dadi meetho madana gopal. Apan hasat hasavat gwalan. You are laughing and you're making everybody laugh, oh Krishna. Manas Leela Roop. With your own beautiful heart. And Paramananda says that I'm looking at this Leela. I can see it. Prabhu hum sab janata. I know, who you are. Tum tribhuvan ke bhoop. You are the most reverential of all the demigods in the three worlds. Displaying that you are the supreme personality of Godhead who has been controlled by his devotees in Gokul or in Vraj Mandal. So that was one. So that is Idriksa Leela Vir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjantam Akhyapayantam. So that is in the Sakyaras, how Krishna drowns his residents of Gokul, whether it is the motherly or the parental love, loving devotees, or the friends of or in the Sakyaras. And now in the Madhuri Ras, it is Diwali time. Giridhara Hatri Bhali Banai. During Diwali time, he makes a little market where Krishna is selling different beautiful items in Vrindavan. Dipavali Hira Mani Rajata Deka Haraka Hota Ati Bhai. And looking at all the different lamps in where Krishna is situated, it's like as if there's diamonds and as if there are gems that are shimmering. Oh, it's an amazing sight. Aneka bhata pakwana banai. And Krishna, Mother Yashoda has made different kinds of pakwan, means different sweets, different kinds of rice items. And ati nayana venjana sukhadai. And all these different items that have been made are so relishing to the eye. They are so very giving a lot of joy to the eyes. Nayana sukhadai. And what happens then? Sundara bhushana pehre sundri. Soda karana lalaso. And beautiful, adorned in beautiful clothes and jewelry, the gopis come, the young gopis. They come to Krishna's market or the Krishna store or Krishna's hatri. Hatri can also mean like one of those carts where there are vendors. If you've gone to Vrindavan, sometimes the vendors are selling fruits. Sometimes the vendors are selling different housewares. So hatri, Krishna is selling all these sweet items that are made, but these are sweet pastimes for what? Idriksa Leela Vir Ananda Kunde. To immerse the residents of Gokul in an ocean of bliss. Ananda Kunde. And what these beautiful young gopis, they come, and what they are saying, Sundar Soda Karana Lalaso, and they start bargaining with Krishna. Krishna is the seller and the gopis are the buyers. Saudhana way. The gopis say, be careful, we know you. Saudhana way soda kijo. Jo dije jo tola purai. And be careful, when you're bargaining with us, and make sure whatever we buy, you weigh properly. Don't cheat us on the weights. We find that, right? Many times the vegetable seller, he cheats, or the grocery fellow in the kirana shop in India, they cheat on the scale. So the gopis are telling the same thing to Krishna. This is an amazing ras that nobody can do with Lord Ramachandra or Vishnu or Narayana. Oh, you be careful. And on top of that, They speak like this. Rakho chitta chanchala hi kije gwalena hasa muskai. And you better mind your behavior. Chanchala chitta, we know how agitated your mind is and how mischievous you can get. So you be careful with us young girls. And like that, Mother Yashoda is listening to this. Idriksa Lila bhir ananda kunde swagosha nimanjantam akhyapayantam. She's saying, Kaisi boli? Mother Yashoda now is saying, Kaisi boli re gwalan? What kind of words are these that you're speaking to my son? Kahata Yashoda mai. Like that, she said so. And Paramanandas, who is the author of this kirtan, says, Paramanandasa hasi Nanda Dharani. Hearing what Mother Yashoda said and Mother Yashoda laughing, Mother Yashoda, or the wife of Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Dharani, Same baat mein pai, I've achieved everything. I've achieved everything just by Mother Yashoda's laughing and looking at how young Krishna and the gopis, how they are fighting with each other while he is weighing the scale, and while they are bargaining, and the gopis are chastising him. You be careful with your behavior. And Mother Yashoda is simply laughing. And Paramananda says that laugh on Mother Yashoda is everything that I have achieved now. So this is the beauty of Idriksa Lila bhir ananda kunde swagosha nimanjantam akhyapayantam. So now, just to remind ourselves, Krishna has and Satyavrat Muni are having a subtle conversation. So now Krishna, having heard all this in the previous slokas and the beauty, where the opulence of Krishna and Gokul, the beauty of Krishna, including the beauty of the jewelry of Krishna and the earrings of Krishna, Mother Yashoda's wonderful pastimes of how she caught him from behind and how he cried and how Mother Yashoda was determined to punish him. All this and the beauty of Krishna himself that was described by Satyavrat Muni, he's so pleased. And so Krishna is actually, the word Gosha also means to declare. So Krishna is telling the rest of the creation, Idriksa Lila bhir ananda kunde swagosha nimanjantam akhyapayantam tada ishit agneshu. Those who have knowledge of my opulence, like my expansions in Vaikuntha, or my expansions in the different parts of the entire creation, those who have knowledge that I am Tad Ishit. Ishit means I am the controller, I am the Supreme Lord. Please learn from these devotees of Gokul. Learn from these Vrajvasis how to love me. How to love me. I am controlled by their love. I am controlled completely by their love. You learn from them. Just by knowing about my opulence, you cannot control me. So, Tad Ishid Agneshu. Agneshu means knowledge. Tad Ishid Agneshu Bhaktair Jitatvam. And Satyavrat Muni says, indeed, it is so true that one can only win over Krishna. Jito apiva. Lord Brahma has a wonderful verse that Rai Ramanan speaks about from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sthane sthita shruti gatam tanoma vanobir. And at the end he says, Jito jato apiva. One who completely who can actually, with their mind, words, and body, completely dedicate their lives towards Sri Krishna and Bhakti, then one can control the one who one can actually win over the one who cannot. One can conquer the one who cannot be conquered. Jito. Jito means to conquer. Ajit means somebody who cannot be conquered. Many people know that's a very common name in India, Ajit. So that's one of the names of Sri Krishna. That's one of the names of Sri Krishna, that Ajit means to Ajit means to conquer. One who is unconquerable. Nobody can conquer Krishna. Especially the Ajit means the Krishna in Vaikuntha. So, but Ajito Jito Apiva, one can conquer the one who cannot be conquered ever. That is what you should learn from my residents of the Vraj Mandal, or in Vraj Bhumi, or in Gokul. And Satyavrat says, Shatavriti Vande. And to such residents of Gokul, I offer my hundreds and hundreds of obeisances, because of the love that they display that can control Sri Krishna, that nobody is able to control. So starts being so pleased with Satyavrat Muni as the conversation, the subtle conversation continues. Krishna has now made an offer to Satyavrat Muni. And what is that offer? He's saying that, oh, I'm so pleased that now I can offer you liberation. And like that, he proposes that, and immediately Satyavrat Muni becomes very serious. He starts the next verse by stating as follows. What is he stating? After that, he's saying, Varam Deva, Moksham, now Moksham of Dimva. He addresses Krishna as Varam Deva. Now, our acharyas explain that there are two divisions in the names of the Lord. So, the first division is known as Gauniyanam. Gauniyanam, examples of Gauniyanams is when someone says, Hey Bhagwan, Hey Parmeshwar, Hey Prabhu, Hey Ishwar. These are known as Gauniyanam. But there is something also, the second division, that the Rasik devotees or the pure devotees always like to address with Mukhyanam. What are the examples of Mukhyanam? When we say, Hey Yashodanandan, Hey Nandanandan, when we say, Hey Radharaman, Hey Gopinath, Hey Madan Mohan, Hey Keshava, Hey Gopal, Hey Giridhar, Hey Girivaradhari. These, hey, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Dasa Vimsho Stotra Nam, every day we sing this before the Bhagavatam class. That is from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Gitavali. 20 names of Krishna, Jai, Radha, Madhav. So that is known as the Pramukh Naam. Kunja Bihari, that is a Pramukh Naam. Gopi Jana Vallabha, that is a Pramukh Naam. Girivaradhari, that is a Pramukh Naam. Yashoda Nandana, that is a Pramukh Naam. Vraja Jana Ranjana, that is a Pramukh Naam. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. So like that, addressing. And the difference between the two is that Krishna gets wonderfully attracted to those who recite their Pramukh Naam. The moment we say Yashodanandan, Krishna's eyes become widened. Oh, you know my mother's name. Wow. When we say Nandanandan, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandanandanam, Namami Nandan. Sanatana Goswami has written Nandanandan Ashtakam. And it starts with these words, Namami Nandanandanam. Krishna is transformed with so much love for that devotee with his heart who calls him with those names. When Krishna is addressed as Radha Madhav, Radha Kanta Namastute, right? We say that Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye, and Radha Kanta Namastute in Krishna's Pranam Mantra, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat, Radha Kanta Namastute. I offer my obeisance to Radha Kanta. So in the Pramukh Naam, the name of Krishna along with his intimate association, Swaghosha, from the previous verse, and his pastimes, intimate pastimes, are embedded just in those beautiful names in the Pramukh Naam. But here Satyavrat Muni is upset. He's upset at Krishna because now he doesn't call him with those sweet names. He's calling him with the Gauniya Naam, Varam Deva, oh, giver of benediction. Varam, and twice he uses the Gauniya Naam in this verse, Vara Ishad. A couple lines down, he uses the word Vara Ishad and Varam Deva. Varam Deva and Vara Ishad mean the same thing. Dev means the Supreme Lord. The one who is the Supreme Lord who can give Vardhan or who can give benedictions. And Vara Ishad, the one who is in control of all the different benedictions. Ish means Ishwar, the controller. From Sanskrit, the word Ishwar, if we simply translate that into English, it means one who is a controller. So Vara Isha. So Varam Deva, Moksham. You have offered me moksha. I don't want it. There are many types of liberations, especially there are 5 types of liberation. There is Saijya Mukti, there is Sarupya Mukti, Salokya Mukti, Sarshti, and Samipya Mukti. And the first liberation that he's talking about is the Saijya Mukti that is obtained by even the demons that are killed by Krishna or Krishna's avatar. That is entrance into the Brahma Jyoti. And there is no seva to Krishna. It is just it is a monoist, it's a monistic avaran. It's a Brahma Jyoti is it's a covering between the spiritual world and the material world. And that is simply, it is like a cloud that a devotee, a pure devotee, is always praying that please remove this cloud. In the Ishavasam Upanishad, the Upanishad, the devotee is saying, please remove this Brahma Jyoti so I can see your real form. And those who are actually entering Brahma Jyoti are the Mayavadis or the Brahmavadis, who do not believe that Krishna is a form. They believe that they themselves are a part of that Brahma Jyoti. Aham Brahmasmi. I am He. Satchitananda Rupam Shivoham Shivoham. I am God. So then, because they have somehow the other transcended the three modes of material nature, they are given residency for some time into that layer of that transcendental light, but there is no activity. Of course, due to the time constraint, I'm not able to go into all those details. So Varam Deva, I do not need that liberation. And then Krishna says, oh wow, there's so many yogis and siddhis waiting. What is that verse in the Brahma Samhita that describes that Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Nav Yovanam Cham Vedesha Durlabam Adurlamam Bhakta Bhakta Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And then there's another wonderful verse where it is described that that even after drilling the respiration in pranayam for millions of years, the yogis, they're not able to even they only get to see the light that emanates from the nail of Krishna's toe. So that is the situation. So he rejects that. So Krishna says, so many yogis are waiting in line to get liberation. Don't you want it? He says, no. And before you even offer me liberation in Vaikuntha, Varam Deva Moksham na Moksham Avadhimva. Avad means Vaikuntha. Avad also means the Ayodhya, where Lord Ramachandra eternally resides in a part of Vaikuntha. And just like when Krishna comes to this mortal or this material world, to this samsara, at that time, even Golok Vrindavan or Vraj Golok, it descends in Vraj Bhumi, which we visit, in Uttar Pradesh in India. So similarly, when Lord Ramachandra descends, he brings Ayodhya down to the world, to this world, so that people can get that. So it's actually non-different, whether Golok Vrindavan or Ayodhya in Vaikuntha or Ayodhya on this earthly planet. But he's saying, Varam Deva Moksham na Moksham Avadhimva. I do not want residency, liberation of the other four kinds of liberation of Sarupya, meaning looking like the Lord, Sarupya, the roop like the Supreme Lord. Samipya, being near to the Lord. And in Vaikuntha in particular, that's what we are talking about. Sarshti, the opulence of Vaikuntha. And Samipya, all these I do not care for. Nacha anye. This is an amazing explanation that Sanatan Goswami gives. Nacha anye. And before you offer me anything more, anya means other things. I am not interested in the Nauda Bhakti of Prahlad and Dhruv Maharaj. No, I'm not interested in that. Indeed, I'm not interested. So if you're going to offer me that bhakti that is of opulence, of awe and reverence, then I'm not interested. Neither. First he says, liberation in the Brahma Jyoti, not interested. Liberation in Vaikuntha, not interested. Liberation in the type of bhakti that has been displayed by Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Hanumanji Maharaj, not interested. Varam Deva Moksham na Moksham of Dimna. Nacha Vrine, I pray to you. Before you tell me anything else, please, respectfully, my dear sir. Vrine aham means I pray to you. Vrine aham. Vara Ishad. Again, he uses the Gauniya naam. Vara Ishad. Vara Ishad means, oh, giver of benediction, or the controller, the giver of benediction. Just like the first verse, Varam Deva. So then Krishna kind of loses. He loses his ground. He's thinking, wow, what kind of a devotee he is. First of all, there are thousands and millions of Brahmavadis and yogis who just want to get liberation in the Brahma Jyoti. He doesn't want it. I'm offering him liberation in Vaikuntha. He doesn't want it. And he doesn't want to hear anything related to Vaikuntha. Then, Baba, what do you want? So Krishna is asking Satyavrat Muni. So Satyavrat Muni says, Idam te vapurnatham gopala balam sadame manasi avirashtam kim anye. So sadame manasi avirashtam kim anye. I just want that the wonderful pastimes that I saw in Gokul, right in front of my eyes, the sweet pastimes of how your mother with her love tied you and how you cried, etc. Always those manifest in my heart. Sadame manasi avirashtam kim anye. There's no need and necessity for anything else. So this is, we just finished the 4th verse of the Damodar Ashtakam. There are 4 more verses. I will try to complete them next time. And I will stop here now. We still have about 5 minutes. If somebody has any questions or any kind of remarks or any corrections, please feel free to unmute yourself. And because the next part of the program is a special kirtan for Shameshwari Devi Mataji for her good health and quick recovery, that she may quickly come out of the hospital. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hopefully we will meet soon for the fourth session, which is also very rustic in nature. And this is the Samam Bonam, I would say, of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which I will start next time. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande.
Gaur Premanande.